Welcome back. You're watching Sports This Morning. We'll reach you live from Channels TV Sports Center in Lagos, Nigeria. We're counting down to the 2016 Rio Olympics. We've just told you that it's now 14 more days to go. Rio is getting ready. Brazil, they cannot wait to give us a world-class game. Sicilia, Tayo, Russia, athletics. No, they will not be feeling Rio.
No.
68 athletes will be missing, and I'm going to miss them too because I'm being sincere here. Come on, don't look at me like that.
Russia?
Yes, I'm going to miss the athletes because I mean, when you're going into a championship, you're looking at some guys who are having world records. Guys who are like the 110 meters hurdle, for instance. I mean, the guy who won it in Beijing last is actually Russian, so he will not be there. I mean, so that competitive edge is actually a little bit reduced. And when you're trying to make a carpet decision for what some people have actually done is also wrong. But I feel when I listened to the Russian sports minister yesterday talking about the fact that, look, they've tried as much as possible to actually, put their house in order when it comes to doping. They've actually raised the level high and everything. But IOC is not saying that. WADA hasn't saying that. What they've seen is what happened in Sochi and everything. I say, look, ban the athletes, and this weekend it might just be ban them all.
This is not a surprise at all.
That's what I'm saying. Why isn't it a surprise? Because they appealed for you to appeal to CAS. It means on some grounds
but apparently the grounds are not strong enough.
Oh my God.
Yeah, that's why they've lost the appeal, and that's why CAS has upheld the IAAF's decision to ban all Russian track and field athletes, meaning we're not going to see the likes of Yelena Isinbayeva.
Oh my God.
I mean, that's the one I'm going to miss. She's a marvelous pole vaulter, and her absence is definitely going to be felt.
And this might even be her last Olympics. Who knows?
Exactly,
I don't know.
yeah.
So
But it's not a surprise at all.
It's not. Because the pressure coming from other countries and all that, just saying, look, you just have to do this.
The reactions, just take a look at the reactions coming out from the likes of Usain Bolt, Darren Campbell, all ex-athletes. They feel it's a strong message, it's the right message to send to anybody planning to default, anybody planning to violate anti-doping rules, systematic doping, whatever you want to call it. It's not good enough. You mess up the integrity of the sport. So I think it's a good one, and so I'm not surprised at all.
I'm not surprised. I was just thinking maybe the Court of Arbitration for Sports might just look at it as, can we ban an entire athletics team from a country? Cecilia just mentioned 68, and that's where the likes of Usain Bolt, they need to come up and speak, because now a lot of people are saying, test Usain, look at Usain, let's understand why he's doing all of this.
He gets tested.
Yeah, and Usain is saying, look, we need the sports to be clean so that we can bring back the integrity of athletics.
And Cecilia said something about a carpet and decision and like a blanket and decision not being fair. I understand where she's coming from. Usain Bolt right there. Yeah,
he's
got his blood drawn, so it's not. Yeah, it gets tested as well too. But it's a totally different situation from where he is and where Russia is at the moment. Russia, the allegations are that of state-sponsored doping.
That's the kind of dance you do where you're not in WADA's net.
When you're not on the list.
Where you get tested and you're clean and WADA is not coming after you. You're not dropping any appeal to CAS. Yeah, that's it. You do that dance.
The camp from Jamaica actually had almost the same issue, not just like same issue when the athletes were complaining that their blood is being drained particularly almost every time, like maybe 15 times in a month and all that. They get tested like every time regularly because of the time most of the athletes were churning out. And now they've left them because they feel, okay, these guys are really not... It's not as if they've left them, but at least it's been reduced compared to what happened before the London 2012 games. Now, the case of Russia, it's because it was actually condoled by the state. The state just allowed it to happen, switching of samples and so many things and all. That's why some people are actually saying, look, if you really want to deal with the Russians, that's the ban on the national team would do better than you just saying you ban only the track and field athletes. Because if you check the gymnasts, synchronized swimming, for instance, the coach was talking yesterday and said, look,
don't punish
these athletes definitely, obviously, won't want to do that because most of them are kids, you understand? So when this issue comes up, it simply means that the state will have to do something better. How they can actually clean everything.
That's the point.
And another thing is if WADA can actually have maybe independent doping agencies in each of these countries that is not controlled by the government. Maybe they're responsible for their the welfare of the the people they are going to employ to actually do that, so it's not be in the hands of each of these countries.
Yeah.
I think that will also be another issue.
Surely, the World Anti-Doping Agency, they have their work cut out
That's
as well.
right.
So they have to do a lot of work to ensure, to keep the sports clean.
Yeah.
IOC, they have to decide on the 24th, that's on Sunday, whether to ban Russia as a team, meaning we're not going to see Russia at all at the Olympics. So we're waiting for that decision as well. So, but for me, they've been left with no choice but to ban Russia, because it's not isolated incidents at all. This, I mean, when it becomes systematic, when it becomes state-sponsored, then you know there's a real problem there. So they had no choice but to ban track and field athletes from Russia.
What a rush, that one for Russia. Let's take reactions as regards CAS, rejecting Russia's appeal on athletics ban. We'll come back, we'll talk a little and then listen to the fastest man in the world, Usain Bolt. Don't go anywhere, stay.
Arbitration for Sport has dismissed the request filed by the Russian Olympic Committee and 68 Russian athletes. These requests were limited to certain legal issues concerning the application, the validity, the scope of the new rules of the International Athletics Federation adopted on 17 June 2016, which state that athletes whose national federation is suspended by the IAAF are ineligible for competition held under the IAAF rules, including the Olympic Games, unless they satisfy specific criteria. As a consequence, the Russian Olympic Committee is not entitled to nominate Russian track and field athletes for the Olympic Games unless they fulfill these specific criteria.
These are not good times for Russia at all, guys. I don't know. You're just tempted to want to pity.
There's another one coming up, the big one. I told you, 24th. So
Yeah, that's the big one.
That's the big one,
I mean,
because this is just 68. Now, if the big one happens, it's going to be like 380 something.
Imagine.
Almost
Russia as a whole. I mean, Russia are the super sporting power in the world. So if you imagine if everyone is lining out and, with the flags, and there's no Russia there, it would be a major shame. But then they've laid their bed, so they've got to lie in it.
I hope Africa is watching.
Of course.
Even Nigeria, we must.
You don't even have the resources to do that. Do you know what it means to put up a laboratory and do? If you read, if you read the details of Richard McLaren's report, you'll be amazed at what actually happened. That's why they insisted that the states must have known about it.
It was a well-coordinated effort to dope the athletes.
That was just
it was systemic. It was planned.
What do you mean? So that's what I'm saying. We don't even have the time. We don't even have the money of laboratory and everything.
Individually, an athlete might just want to cheat. It's the same as taking meldonium that you shouldn't take. The state doesn't even sponsor you to take meldonium.
Ironically, meldonium is not even a drug. It happens to be something that is actually found in some of the drugs that you take.
We've had African athletes, who have failed doping.
Look at Kenya, for example, as well. So
check the athletes.
They honor the spotlight.
Check the athletes that are even failing the dope test in Kenya. They're not even the top athletes.
That's not the issue. The issue is
the issue is that it's gradually getting into the system. Exactly. And people understand that they can cheat.
Exactly.
And maybe
and that's why they've had to pass.
No, Wada is watching.
And that's why they've had to pass a new anti-doping bill into law. So these things you have to be very careful, as countries. The decision making has to come from the very top and ensure that you don't get soiled with allegations of doping at all. The integrity of the sport, has been affected for a long time. You remember Ben Johnson when he was breaking all those records and he ended up failing. Mario Jones.
Yeah.
We're going to talk about Usain Bolt now. I know a few people out there that are just saying, we're waiting.
Watch this guy.
We're just waiting. They're just waiting for him.
Let's listen to Usain Bolt because he's so sure that he's definitely free. He is for now. He is free. So listen to Usain Bolt what he had to say concerning the doping issue.
If you have the proof and you catch somebody, I definitely feel that you should take action. And if you feel like banning the whole team is the right action, then I'm all for it, Because as I said, rules are rules, and the doping violation in track and field is getting really bad. So if you feel like you need to make a statement, and this is how you feel like you need to make a statement, then thumbs up. I always think if you're cheating, I always feel like it's a good message to show that listen, if you cheat or if you go against the rules, then we're going to take serious action. This will scare a lot of people or send a strong message to let you know that the sport is serious. We want to clean the sports up. So I definitely think so.
That's it. Usain Bolt saying no to cheating. We shouldn't be doing this. We should stay clean. We should run with integrity. And yes, Tayo, I agree with you. A lot of, particularly his enemies.
Yeah, they're waiting.
This guy.
They're waiting.
Keeps breaking all the records. You allow Justin Gatlin to run all the meets, win, break records, and then the main championship will come and break it. So they're watching Usain Bolt.
Yeah, I mean, he knows he's been watched closely. And a lot of skeptics out there that don't believe he's actually doing this on his natural ability. But so far, so good. He hasn't failed any test. Hopefully, it stays that way.
And it's that day of matters. When he said it was one vegetable in Jamaica that the guy takes, and then, what are they? We need samples of that vegetable.
Come on, you know the good thing about it is that the food. Yeah, exactly. That's the thing, because I mean, how are they going to check? Where are they going to start from?
That vegetable. Let's see what is able to use to break the record.
Especially, imagine if Usain Bolt actually goes to Rio, breaks the 200 meters record again. He said he wants to run a sub 19.
That guy is insane.
That would be incredible. And it's just going to increase the calls for more tests.
The moment he's crossing that finish line,
they're taking him to
one of the officials are waiting. Come on.
They tell you, we did a random.
But why we laugh over this? Yeah, I think they're doing the right thing. Yeah. The IWF, they're doing the right thing. The IOC, they're standing for integrity, which is very laudable. Also, CAS for saying, look, we have checked what these guys is wrong. Yeah. So we're going to stay with the decision of the IWF, which is very good. I love the sort of panic this would create for other countries that have also been cheating and they're getting it. Or even planning I like that.
Do the same thing,
We must have clean sports.
Of course, it has to be clean. They have to try everything humanly possible to make sure sports is clean.
It's clean, that's it. And of course, you have some athletes that will be participating in the anniversary game, talking about the Diamond League in London starting today. And of course, they also were talking about what they're going to do there, and also the fact that, well, what IOC is doing is actually the right thing to do. What WADA is doing is the right thing to do. What IWF is doing is also the right thing to do. The likes of Shapers and Lavine, and these are athletes who have actually, according to them, they've used their sweat, their own strength to get to. That's what they said.
That's what it will be.
To get to where they are right now. Where they are right now, so they feel, when the sport is clean, it actually helps everyone. When they're watching, they know that yes, whatever you've done, it was in good faith, right? That's the way it is.
Okay, so see that other athletes are also talking on this doping issue. Everyone is talking about it.
Okay, everyone is talking about it. I just want to go quickly to Ben Johnson. Then when he tested positive, I just go way back. I'm trying to bring out something here. When he failed on the doping test in Seoul, I was in Seoul 88. Wow. Yeah, that was when he broke that record, won the 100 meters final, and he tested positive, and the medal was collected from him 3 days after. His coach came out then and said that, okay, we admit Ben Johnson doped, to run that time, but he's not the only one doping. He basically said all the other finalists in that 100 meters were doping as well. So why make Ben Johnson a scapegoat? What I'm trying to say is it's not black and white, Austin. These athletes might come out and say, okay, we do it on natural ability, but you never know. Yeah. You never know.
Or the place of ignorance. Some of them, they tell them, don't do this. Oh, maybe if I should just do it, I can explain. Yeah. Some they will send them an email, they will not click on the attachment.
We've seen all sorts. That's why the saying has been reversed now. It's now guilty until you're proven innocent.
Yeah, I totally agree, because the case of Sharapova was just that of ignorance. Subclass athletes, and then she gets an email.
Very negative.
I mean, you get something from WADA, you pray before you open it. You pray, you open it, you look at it again, and then you go to the attachment.
The only thing she knew she was taking was, okay, that was it. I mean, all the time, it's never been there. So you want to all of a sudden just be there.
I agree. So that's it. We'll continue to talk about this. We want sports to be clean. The doping issue is not a good one. We must eradicate it. We'll go on a quick break, take a breather, and we'll come back. Other athletes are also commenting. When we come back, we'll talk some more. Don't go anywhere. Stay.